Hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Even if you came to dislike the video and tell me to kill myself, I'm still glad that you're here. I'll be completely honest, I've been super stressed about this video, and the only reason that I'm doing it is because nobody else really will. I ended up trying to get a collaboration from a couple of different people about this topic, seeming as a lot of people that I talked to had the same opinions that I did and the same kind of points that I did. However, that was a little difficult because a lot of creators, the second that I told them what the video was going to be on, they immediately were like, I don't want to be in drama. So for some fucking reason, it seems like I'm the only person not scared of her goddamn fan base, which is false. I am. I'm just cocky because one of my videos got 30k views and now I think I'm hot shit. I'm not. However, let's see how this goes. So with this slightly lengthy video, we'll be looking at the very talented CreepShow Art and dive into why this creator with humble beginnings and a very charitable heart has, of the past 3 months, has turned into somebody who makes a 35-minute video over petty comments, makes false accusations about somebody distributing child pornography, as well as crossing a line and going too far, not knowing when to stop, and reacts before thinking.
You know where she learned how to bullface lie online?
My kids always have had their vaccinations.
I'm doing it.
He's bullying.
No need for that. There were not.
In the end, it's better for me. That's the moral of the story. Mistakes get made. That's alright. That's okay. You can think that you're in love when you're really just engaged.
Shannon, also known publicly as CreepShow Art, created her channel on the 6th of April 2016, but didn't really start posting content to that channel until about early 2018. Most of her videos at the time had consisted of story times, semi-lighter subjects, and what she talks about now, and stuff about the art community, related drama and topics and such like that. All the while, the background consisted of mostly her recording herself drawing traditional art. Which, by the way, I didn't really know this other fact until I went back to go do more research on her earlier videos. At one point in time, she actually started making her own stills with her traditional art, which is, I've never really seen a creator do that before. So to be completely honest, I have to give her props for that because that's really creative when you don't really have the means to do digital art. However, her channel didn't really start having a giant spike in popularity until around October of 2018, where her video titled "The Creepiest Commission Ever" absolutely popped the fuck off. The algorithm saw this little gem just sitting there in the rough. It was just like, darling, you're coming with me. Then boom, fucking everywhere. 1 mil, still like that today. It's honestly kind of one of my favorite videos. However, the video that I really found her on was her Simply Kenna video. However, just from the very beginning, I could definitely tell that Shannon was very talented. She was really good at telling a story. She had pretty fun stories to tell. She was very empathetic. You can kind of tell she wasn't a fake bitch, which is a problem apparently with some people who don't know how to be genuine. Laura Lee, looking at you, those are not stress tears, bitch. Who are you fooling? We're not fucking 12. I'm not in the 2nd grade. I see through you, bitch. Anyways, I loved Shannon's attitude. I loved her stories. I loved her art. I liked the topics that she picked at the time. However, as her topics started to slightly shift over time, things started to become a lot more serious and like negative, and these kind of subjects really pulled out a very emotional response for her, which was understandable, I guess. But her content slowly but surely started to become more just downright bashing on people all the time, and it came off super aggressive. But it's like, at the time I was like, maybe just like her content just isn't for me anymore, and that's what I chopped it up to. You know, it happens to every creator eventually, even if the change isn't like a complete 180, because 9 times out of 10 you sub to people because you like their personality, you like the way that they act, you like things about their life, you like the way that they react to things. You know, it's the personality that really holds that audience. So as long as that doesn't shift and go down a bad path, then everything's good, right? Yes, I already know I made a video about this, but shh, okay? Shut up. The video fucking sucked. Sonic Boom level of poo-poo.
This is like a glitch that like occasionally breaks out into a game.
Started to really notice a change in Shannon, the way that she would drive her videos mostly, around a couple of months ago, but I didn't really think anything of it until her Jaclyn Hill video titled, Jaclyn Hill's Dad is a Cult Leader. Now, I've already made a video on this, so I won't go too much into it, but basically in the video, Shannon talks about Jaclyn's father, who's not, in her life, and hasn't been for a long time for personal reasons that's none of our fucking business, and how he has some like weird evangelical church in Africa or some shit. However, Shannon in the video kind of frames it more as if it's a cult when it's not a cult. Not saying that it's better or worse, it's not a cult, it's an evangelical church, which, I mean, let's all be fucking real, it's kind of a cult, but it's not though. And then she goes and crosses a line and says,
This man is the man who put his hoo-ha into someone else to make Jaclyn. So I guess we know where she learned how to boldface lie online. So much so that she made an entire brand off it. And like him, like, they both made brands off this. Oh my god, I'm losing it. I am losing it. There's total crackhead energy right now. Jaclyn, despite being apparently estranged from him since about 2012, has never mentioned this.
These comments Shannon made in her video are kind of very much over the line and in very poor taste. And many other people felt the same way. Even a fellow creator friend of mine told me that she had brought it up to Shannon, saying, hey, what the fuck? What the fuck was that video? Excuse me, that point you made? Excuse you, I'm sorry, what the fuck? And Shannon got very defensive and just straight up kind of just ignored my friend and kind of just brushed her off, which was, I mean, you do you. At the end of it all, seeing Shannon handle things in a very poor and childishly defensive way was a bit disheartening and made me feel a little disappointed, to be completely honest. She would lash out at people tweeting against her and that didn't have the same opinion as her and came off very, very... Alright, whatever. I made a video about it because I was pissy about it, okay? The video was fucking confusing and it fucking sucked. That was before I started scripting, but don't worry, this one's scripted, don't fucking worry. Anyways, now, at this time I kind of thought this was all over and done with, whatever. Until about a month later, my video started to do actually kind of well. I don't know if it got picked up in the algorithm or whatever, what have you, but people were saying in my comment section that, oh, I saw this in my recommended, blah, 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 blah. And then I got more comments, and then more comments, and more comments that made me very intrigued, I should say. And the comment section started to be filled with things like...
I actually usually adore Shannon's content. I was watching before she took off or whatever. I don't usually care about what she talks about, I just like listening. Though, recently, she has been acting odd. It has started to feel like she is trying too hard to be quirky and edgy. I don't know.
Those aren't the only ones. I literally have a comment section full of 400 plus comments, all nearly the same. Just said differently. It wasn't until I got this comment.
I agree with all that you have said in this video. Another one of your CS videos where she spreads misinformation about a YouTuber because I want to share. From what I know from her Karuna Satori video, she calls her an anti-vax Karen, and according to Karuna's subs, that info was from way back when Karuna had educated herself since she had kids now. Karuna responded to the CreepShow video regarding the situation. Karuna had tried to reach out to CreepShow, but CreepShow didn't reply back. Like, CreepShow was spreading misinformation about a certain YouTuber, and what made me drop out of the CreepShow content.
And this is when I started to go down a very concerning, odd, and all-out sad rabbit hole. In this situation, there are a good amount of viewpoints that are expressed between Karuna Satori and Shannon. However, the only thing that is of real importance out of this whole entire fucking shit show and debacle is the behavior expressed between these two and the handling of the situation. That left a very sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. The video's content, while not being the center of the issue personally for me, definitely became the starting force for it when another YouTuber named Karuna Satori ASMR commented about CreepShow's video. While this initial comment was a little bit more of an emotional take than Shannon's overall video actually was, it in no fucking way was any reason to isolate this comment. It really wasn't that bad. I'm sorry, I'll be blunt. It was it was a pretty harmless comment. Then just do what I do. I just roll my eyes and I move on. It's It's really that simple. If you don't agree with the point that they're giving you and you have nothing nice to say back or nothing that's not overtly rude, just ignore it. It's really that simple. Everyone else does it. Well, kind of. Well, but this wasn't the end of it. Oh, no. That would be too easy. After this, the fight kind of rolled over to Twitter where the two kind of started to beef it out. And like I said before, it doesn't really matter who is right and who is wrong. We're talking about when to step away, when to be the bigger person and just shut the fuck up. Because apparently some people on Twitter don't know when to do that, including me a little bit. Anyways, moving along. In Satori's video that she made about the situation, she explained how she got very heated and felt a little guilty about getting that far into it, so she ended up doing something very reasonable when you pop off like that and DMing Shannon, giving her a very nice apology.
Heated day. I was upset. I go on Twitter. I'm like, unsubscribing to CreepShow, whatever. At the end of the day, I was like, I calmed down. My kids got to bed. I had a moment to think for myself, and I was like, you know what? Do I really want to open my mouth over this situation? Do I really want to make a big deal out of something that maybe she didn't mean as negative as she portrayed herself? So I reached out to Shannon and I apologized. I think she did see the message. She did not respond, and she didn't have to respond. That's not the point. So at that time, everything was cool. Everything was great.
Sorry, but in my own personal opinion, I think this is extremely considerate when you get a little angry because, shit fucking happens. As long as you, apologize and you mean it and you're, trying to become a better person from it, everything's good and good. And honestly, between two creators, I would really appreciate it if it just stayed in the DMs. It's one of those situations, those drama situations where I'm like, this is a personal matter that I feel like shouldn't have been made public. However, no. That wasn't enough. I'm not exactly sure what the hell happened, but Shannon ended up just ignoring the DM altogether and then used it in her video. Now, a lot of people, including me, found this to be so unbelievably petty of Shannon to do, as well as immature and so goddamn childish. Satori had made a very heartfelt apology after popping off a little harder than she should have. And, honey, you do it too. Shannon, you do this just as much, even more than she does. Where the hell is your apology? You're not exactly the most calm and collected figure in this back and forth conversation that you had with her. This is also the reason why I did not reach out to you at all in the DMs for literally anything. So before you try to go, well, why didn't you just reach out to me and ask? This is the reason why. Honestly, this is a display of extreme immaturity and the fact that you can't keep DMs like this private. So no, I did not reach out to you at all. I did not want to because I don't trust you to keep anything between us. I don't fucking trust you. I'm going to DM you about something and $20 says that you're probably going to end up posting our DMs and be like, haha, someone's trying to make an exposed video on me. Ooh, oh my God. So no, I didn't fucking trust DMing you about anything, and this is the reason why. So when I wanted to know more about this situation, I reached out to Corinna, and before she even replied, I asked her permission to use our DMs in my video because that's a respectful thing to do, even if it's somebody that I hate, unless it's illegal, which by the way, if it's illegal, I send it to the police. I ask people if I can use our DMs because that's a respectable thing to do because that's what I expect from other people. Also, no, Shannon, it does not matter that she made a bunch of tweets getting mad at you for Jaclyn's video because she wasn't the only one. There were all kinds of comments that were extremely angry at you for the lines that you crossed. But you know what you do? Guess what you do? Guess what you do? You ignore them. Oh my God, what a revelation! Oh my God, I can ignore a tweet I don't like! I'm a fucking new creator. I'm better at ignoring petty shit like this than you are, and that's really embarrassing. My fucking Lumistar video, when I first uploaded it, was filled with people saying all kinds of shit that just triggered a reaction out of me. But you know what I did? I ignored them, or I responded with thank you for your feedback, even though I wanted to type shit like this. I didn't. I'm the better person in the situation. However, you do it so fucking much to anybody who gives you criticism or doesn't fully agree with you. And you decide to make a 35 goddamn minute video talking about literally the most pettiest, dumbest shit ever. This isn't even the worst part of the situation that makes me extremely angry and extremely disappointed in you, because this resulted in this girl losing subscribers, mostly because you started to frame her as an anti-vaxxer. I know you put anti-vax defender, But you know what that insinuates? That insinuates that somebody supports that. The way that you framed it in your video, the way that you framed it in your tweets, made her seem like she was an anti-vaxxer.
But in this apology, she straight up says it was not a big deal. It was just an insult. It was no reason to straight up stop watching someone she likes, and it was no reason to call me a bully. Now again, it's important to say I don't know this person. I still have never spoken to her outside of the one comment. And after receiving this and seeing her freak out about people being mean to anti-vaxxers, I decided, well, shit, I don't want to associate with this person, mainly because they support people's right to endanger other people's lives and hurt their children.
It's a wrong thing to do. We need to vaccinate. There's proof, there's scientific evidence. And now, she's trying to create the narrative that I am in defense of anti-vaxxers. Let me explain something to you. I am not in defense of anti-vaxxers. I don't believe in what they believe in. I used to, until I educated myself, until somebody sat down with me and explained to me that not vaccinating your kids is it's a horrible thing to do.
She used to be one. She used to be one until she was educated, which is probably why she left that tweet saying that you should probably educate them because it's a personal experience that she's had. Whether you agree with it or not is not the thing that we're discussing here. It's the fact that if you don't agree with what she's saying and it makes you that angry, just ignore it. As long as she's not spreading false information and making false allegations and saying disgusting shit like, I can't say those kinds of words because they make me feel uncomfortable, but you know what kind of stuff that I am talking about, then just ignore it. This whole video, this whole situation should have never have happened. This is one of the things that I'm criticizing you about because it's not just this situation, it's many, many other situations where you need to learn when to respond to stuff and when not to, because a lot of the times when you get backlash for stuff, whether it's justified or not, you get very emotional about it. And I understand. It's so emotional. Trust me, there are tweets that I've wanted to reply to, mostly including the one that you retweeted of my tweet. Though there's so many of those tweets that I just want to just fucking pop off, but I didn't because I'm the better person and it wouldn't have done anything. What am I gonna do? I'm a fucking mid to early 20-year-old sitting here fucking having a Twitter fight with somebody. No, I'm not doing that. I have shit to do. I have a dog to take care of. I have a life that I need to uphold and fucking do. I have adult shit that has to be done. I have other projects that have to be done. I have art things that have to be done. I don't have time to sit here and have Twitter fights with people, even though the borderline personality part of my brain wants to sit here on the internet for 20 minutes having it out with this person that doesn't agree with me. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because 9 times out of 10, even if I have this fight with them, they're not going to agree with you still. A lot of people are just so stuck in their ideals, they're just not going to listen to you. So it's a waste of time. And when Satori made her video talking about this situation, she apologized again for some of the stuff that she said. Yeah, this is her second apology in this situation. You know, that thing that like grown adults do when they realize that I maybe went a little too far, a little too heated for the situation. Where's your apology, Shannon? Oh, you didn't do that. You didn't do that. Instead, you just made a 35-minute video about it instead of just accepting her apology in the beginning and just being done with this straight there and then. No more beef. Just could have just apologized. You could have just accepted the apology or just ignored it altogether. You could have done either one of those, but no. Oh, also, you made her tweet your header? Oh my god. How fucking old are you? The next video on our roster is a video that was titled The Worst Twitter Artist Ever. This was uploaded on April 11th, 2020. And before we begin, I would just like to say to Studio Slammer, because of this tweet that came up because of this video, I would just like to say, Studio Slammer, your turtle is very, very beautiful, and this person who tweeted this is a human piece of shit. Anyways, moving on. So there's a reason why that this video is in here amongst the other ones, while the other ones have a lot more of a reason to be criticized for Shannon. In this one, I just kind of want to reiterate a point that I was seeing when I was researching this one, because this is another one that people brought to my attention, and as I did more research on, the majority of the backlash was fucking dumb, and I'll go into that later on and why, but this is also an example of Shannon kind of reacting before she thinks. So that's kind of the reason why this video is in here. Anyways, moving on. In this video, Shannon got weird backlash. The video went over how Shannon found a Twitter artist with some of their work of comics depicting very inappropriate and very overtly sexual scenarios, including people underage. In the video, Shannon not only shows the art, even if it's censored, doesn't matter, it still appeared in the video, but also goes on to link it in the description. Obviously, now saying this, I would just like to reiterate that she did not post it for malicious intent. She did it because she wanted people to go there and to report it, which I understand the need and the want to do that. But the fact that she reacts before she thinks is a trending thing that continues to happen, because you are sending underage minors to a page that not only one has NSFW content, but one's depicting child pornography. That, number one, that is distribution of child pornography, and it is illegal. I know the intent behind it was not malicious. I will definitely say that. However, she has taken it down. She did take it down a couple of days later, so she either came to the realization or she was told this enough to where she ended up taking it down. So that's all said and done. That's all good. So that's only the real big issue that I have with this. However, the reason why this video is on this roster of the things that we were talking about is mostly because of the weird backlash she got, because I just kind of wanted to clarify a couple of things that I felt like a lot of the people who were angry about this didn't really understand a couple of things. Some of the backlash talked about how the OP drew some of their pieces to deal with trauma. So some of this person's work is not straight up like lolly and shota, which is just like underage porn, drawn porn. Like a piece that I was shown, which I will not show because I'm not going to, is a girl who's like half naked and a bunch of hands are like reaching towards her, and it's a very like a symbolic piece. It's obviously not porn or lewd. However, the other half of their work is so just don't post it. It's very lewd, straight up hentai level like porn. It's not like interpreted, like no, it's underage drawn porn. It's not okay to post. And some people were trying to fight the whole fact of, well, this person draws that stuff to deal with trauma. I don't care. Honestly, my own personal opinion, I don't have a defined opinion about whether they shouldn't draw it or not. I don't know. However, posting it is going to be a huge fuck no. I'm sorry. I don't care what kind of drama or what kind of trauma that you've been through. Posting child pornography is not okay. I shouldn't have to say that. I shouldn't have to tell a bunch of people that. Also, people in the comments who are trying to defend the fact that, well, technically like the law says that like if it's drawn, it's not illegal. Number one, if you have to use the law as your only defense, it's a little sad having that some laws are just not the best. In America, there are certain states that allow a 14-year-old to marry a 40-year-old with parents' consent. Parents, not the child.
When I got married, I had just turned 13. We stood in my living room and in this ugly dress that my mother bought off the internet. And shortly after getting married, she encouraged us to start having kids.
I got married to my rapist, the guy that raped me. Licensed and certified there. He was 20 and I was 11.
So no, some of the laws, I wouldn't use that as your only defense. I also want to better clarify that I am not in any way calling this person a pedophile because I don't fucking know them. I haven't seen enough of their work over a certain amount of time. I don't really know how old they are. So for this last little bit, I would just like to reiterate the point of, if you are underage, it's not okay to post underage NSFW content. And if you're an adult posting child porn, you're a fucking pedophile. We need to talk about hashtag cancel 𝐂𝐨𝐦𝐿. It's a mess. Okay, I'm gonna be real. The whole entire drama situation, it's just a giant clusterfuck, and it was hard to follow a lot of it. But the entire video goes off about two drag queens who have a pretty big, significant following, retweeting some fake messages that some human being tweeted out about, or trying to expose another YouTube creator, 𝐂𝐨𝐦𝐿, that Shannon, previously we know, has a very clear bias towards.
Because the amount of time, the amount of jokes, the amount of references he pulls from, pure fucking gold.
Now, this issue here isn't the entire drama of, oh, the screenshots are fake. I mean, yeah, but Shannon gets pretty angry in the video saying how these two drag queens should have known that these were fake. However, if you don't really know anything about like Photoshop, or you don't do Photoshop or any kind of art or editing kind of software, no, these two images don't really seem to be fake at first glance. And you can't really expect these two drag queens to be Reddit detectives about everything that they retweet. However, I obviously do think they probably shouldn't have retweeted, because why? But we're not talking about that. I know that's petty. I know that they're being stupid. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Shannon. In her video, she goes on to frame these two people that they are retweeting child pornography, and she frames it and she says it as if these two are spreading around pictures of this person. Now, to be completely honest, I think that those had been deleted. I read through stuff. I think something had been posted, but it was deleted, but it was not posted by these two drag queens. However, after doing a little bit more digging, I ended up finding this one video by this very handsome lad right here who did a pretty in-depth search into all this shit. I linked his video below. Then I reached out to this person to get a little bit more information on the situation, seeing as he dug pretty deep on it and to see if he can give me a little bit more insight about the video that he made. He said that he found out about this whole entire situation after seeing the hashtag, and then he saw later on that CreepShow ended up making a video about it. He watched it not really thinking much of it at the time, and he was absolutely, just like all of us were at first, very, very appalled to the fact that these two very, very well-known, very famous celebrity people who are under the public eye would spread around stuff that could get them thrown into jail. Not only thrown into jail, but child pornography. I don't know if you don't already know this, but when you get sent to jail for anything pedophilic, you don't last long in jail. I'm just saying. Anyways, he then started thinking, wait, hold on. Exactly why would the fuck would two celebrities, in any sense of the words, any kind of celebrities anywhere, why the hell would they spread around this kind of stuff that could get them potentially sent to jail? And so now we're brought to this tweet right here, where Lewis goes on to explain the fact that CreepShow has completely and utterly falsely accused two drag queens, two very known celebrity drag queens, of spreading around child pornography falsely. And then Shannon ends up responding saying, I literally said they spread sexts that he sent as a minor, because they did, as those tweets are still up. Literally fact check me right now. All the tweets I included in my video are still up. And then he ended up tweeting the clip of her specifically saying child porn and nudes, not just sexts. She said child porn and nudes multiple times in her videos.
Telling you right now is what was posted was revenge porn. His sex, his nudes, revenge porn was posted by and then retweeted by 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐿 and 𝙤𝙤𝙀, two people with massive platforms. And these were posted in direct response to them calling out Jake and trying to spread hashtag cancel Jake Beyonce. 𝐂𝐂𝐬𝐿 and 𝙤𝙤𝙀, two people who are successful in their field and are massively talented, like they're very talented, very gifted performers who have large audience, who don't like Jake for whatever reason that they are allowed to not like Jake, decided that they were going to repost to their large audience these images, this revenge porn, to embarrass and hurt this fucking 19-year-old.
And now in this tweet, apparently all she's saying is she literally just said that they spread around sexts, which she did not say in her video.
Revenge porn. His sex, his nudes, revenge porn was posted by and then retweeted by 𝐂𝐂𝐬𝐿 and 𝙤𝙤𝙀. Revenge porn. His sex, his nudes,
and then after that, he said that she stopped replying. And to be completely honest, do you really think that they would knowingly retweet? Shannon, you have to think before you just post shit. Do you really think that two established celebrities would retweet pictures of somebody who is underaged? Oh my God, how dumb do you think these two people are? Do you actually think that they would knowingly do that? Now, am I justifying the fact that these two drag queens were kind of bullying and going after Jake? Fuck no. That's so, like, how fucking old are you? Is this high school? Why the fuck are you tweeting about this kid? Who cares? Shut the fuck up. The issue is that Shannon had been told by many people that this was a false allegation. She didn't do any research. Shannon, you can literally be sued for this. Not only that, but the fact that you're attaching a false allegation as serious as child pornography to somebody. Like, okay, example of why this is a big deal. The whole entire James, Charles, and Tati situation, you know, where people are coming up with fake screenshots, fake DMs, trying to frame James Charles as a fucking sexual predator. One of them being and saying that James Charles apparently had molested somebody in a fucking urinal, and then later it came out, ooh, it was just a social experiment.
Completely fabricated a whole entire story about me touching another boy in a high school urinal, and it blew up. This person came forward a few days later saying that it was a social experiment, but it was too late.
By that time, it was too late, because now a lot of people still think that he's a sexual predator because of that, because they don't know that that was fucking fake. The drag queen even tweeted out later on saying that they've heard that somebody's trying to spread this kind of shit about them. You have to think before you act Shannon. And this is where the bigger issue of all this lies, with how she's been behaving and how she's been acting on social media and on her channel within the past couple of months. Her content and how she behaves and reacts to people online has increasingly gotten more defensive, more childish, more petty, and significantly more emotionally driven without any control over what she says or what she does. And it's extremely negligent, and it's not okay. Every single comment you don't like, you don't need to respond. You need to learn when to leave things alone and when things need to be addressed. You have a very impressionable audience, Shannon. And what you say and how you react to things does matter. You also need to start scripting your videos and take more time for them to come out, not just popping one out every other day. Now, do I hate her? Do I hate Shannon? Of course not. Yes, your behavior, Shannon, as of lately has extremely angered me and makes me very disappointed in you and concerned. But while yes, some of the topics that you've been talking about recently have definitely pushed you into a place where you go over the line and you get very emotional and you get very defensive and to almost a stance of being a kind of a bully, you do care about what you talk about. You care about people getting justice. You don't like when the underdog is kicked around, just like all of us do, but it's genuine when it comes from you. You are also so fucking good to your fans. You show your gratitude for them all the time, and they deserve better. And I know you can do better than this, Shannon. Remember that girl who was living out of her car with like little to no resources to make videos? Remember what you did, what you had to do in order to get by with like a $2 pen and a fucking sketchbook from Walmart? I don't know where the hell she went, because all I see now is somebody who does no research.
Are we going to continue to insult them, or are we going to try to educate and make them understand that not vaccinating your kids is wrong? It's a wrong thing to do.
Gets extremely defensive to people who don't agree with her and makes really petty tweets from a petty situation as her Twitter banner, like a 12-year-old would do. You are so sweet and talented and creative, and whether you like it or not, a very large amount of people look up to you. And you need to realize that you are a role model. You need to be a better role model. Because right now, I don't see that.
That's the moral of this story. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. You can think that you're in love when you're really just in pain. Some mistakes get made, that's alright.